Are you tired of hose clamps that bite back and leaks that just won't quit? Well, today we're going to talk about this push fit hose bib adapter. I'm really excited about it. I'm hoping it's going to work out. Let's jump into it. So here on the Homestead, our hoses have seen a lot of things. Tractor tangles, mower mishaps, and the occasional lopper showdowns. They're the lifelines to our gardens and livestock, but they're not invincible. So what's a homesteader to do with all the hoses that have seen way too many battles? So purchasing a new hose every time one gets a leak is not a good use of funds. So if you're like me, you've tried everything from a little bit of duct tape to the expensive hose mending kits. Some of these methods are better than others, and most don't last that long, but to be honest, some of them are just downright dangerous. So when my father-in-law told me about these push fit connectors, I had to give them a try and see if they are the solution to get water going where it needs to quick. All right, so let's jump right into it and talk about what makes these push fit connectors different from the traditional ones that you're used to. So most of us are familiar with the hose clamp version like this, or the screw down version with the Phillips or the flathead. They promise a tight fit, but most of the time they end up failing. You gotta wrangle them around with tools, and even then, sometimes they give you a little thank you with the form of a sharp edge. I even landed a screwdriver in my palm one time whenever I was trying to crank one of these down real tight. Now, the push fit ones are a different beast altogether. They're like the modern cousin of what we're all used to, but they don't require any tools or screws. You just push them in and you're set. Well, at least that's what they advertise. So I've used push fittings before for PVC and for copper and for PEX, but I've never used them for something that's really soft like a rubber hose. So I'm interested to see how this turns out. Our mission today is simple. We want to see if we can get rid of the leaks on a few of our hoses and get rid of a few of those I would consider dangerous hose clamps and make hoses safe again. That way we can enjoy our water hoses again, take care of our animals in our garden without the unexpected water fights or occasional blood donation. So with that said, let's go ahead and get started and see if we can find a tool that we can keep in our toolbox to make this easier every time. So changing things up, Buddy's actually gonna do the work for us. I'm gonna cut this end off. Well, as it turns out, this is a 3/4 inch hose and this is a 5/8 fitting, so that does not work. Fortunately, we have a 5/8 hose somewhere here on the property, but for the most part, we use 3/4 inch hoses because we like to get work done. We're gonna go find a 5/8 hose. This one will work perfect. You see here, we've got one of our razor blades on this end and we've got one on this end, so we're gonna fix that now. Since we've got a kink right here that's always pretty obnoxious, we're gonna go ahead and cut that out. So the funny thing about this hose is I actually pulled it off the side of the road. It was like a 100-foot hose that somebody threw away because, well, the ends were messed up. So you're supposed to just push it in. You see it's got these little teeth in it and those are gonna bite onto it. Now it is removable supposedly, so if you pull back on this, like you push on it, the teeth actually fold in a little bit. I don't know if you can see that, kind of hard to see. So we're gonna go ahead and get this. All right, so I've noticed that if you put it down on something, and then you push down into it, it's a lot easier to get it done because this thing takes a lot of effort. One side done, one to go. Okay, so this is a prime example of what I hate about these things. This guy right here, every time I go to unscrew this or screw it on, it folds up and tries to cut me, and I hate everything about these hose clamps. One thing I don't love about it is it's plastic. I mean, I would definitely prefer that it was solid brass. That would be amazing, but I can't find one that's like that. So the next thing to do is check and see if it leaks. So I'm seeing drips, but I don't know where it's coming from. I don't know, it could be coming from this guy right here, but I think it's coming from here somewhere. It could also just simply be that it doesn't have a really great gasket there. Yeah, that seems to tighten it up. I think it's leaking from the thread. It's definitely not leaking from over here, so that's good. Got any leaks? Nope. Got any pressure? Oh, a lot of air in here. Go ahead and open it all the way up. Okay, close it off. Yeah, this is a cheap one. It's hard to close, but no leaks. No leaks. It's definitely not leaking from the push fit valve itself, so That's cool. This guy's still pulling up with water. These cheap ball valves are filling up. So I would say that's a success. Now, is it gonna hold up long term? I really don't know, and time will tell. But here's the deal. Guess how much they cost? They're less than $2 a piece, which is incredible because most of the time you get the other ones, the metal ones that are gonna cut your hands and do all that stuff, and they're like $7, $8, $12 for $2 at Walmart. I'm thinking I can have a whole bunch of them on the shelf or in my toolbox, and it's just something that we can keep around, and if you need it, you need it. So the biggest downside is that they only come in 5/8. So if everything that you have is 3/4 or 1-inch hoses, then you're kind of out of luck. If you're into this sort of thing, go ahead and click this video right here. You're gonna love it. Go ahead and do that right now. I'm Eric with East Texas Homestead, and we'll see you on it.